Hi, I'm Jeff Wise. Our topic today is computer and network security for small and mid-sized businesses. I'm joined by Matt Sorrell, a New York-based technology consultant and journalist, and by Gautam Vij, a Dell Computer product marketing strategist. I think we're all aware that there are many kinds of threats. They're always changing. In fact, this chart here shows the top 5 threats that face businesses today. What do you guys see as the number one security concern? Matt, let's start with you.
The concerns that my customers bring out to me are protection of their information, their business processes, their employees. Malware is a huge threat, probably the biggest threat. Blended threats, meaning a combination of phishing leading to a malware site, as well as also the possibility of even losing data because of an attack and therefore needing to have made backups prior to that attack.
And what about you, Gautam? What do you see as the threat?
That's right. Like Matt mentioned, the threat landscape is constantly changing. There are new threats. As technology evolves, hackers are looking for ways to break into that technology to gain access to the precious information that stands behind the technology. Spyware, virus, phishing are some of the common threats that we hear about on a daily basis. But there are other threats that are equally or more dangerous that are less known. You could have a hacker sitting in a basement somewhere else in the world trying to gain unauthorized access to information. In any case, the enterprise that has been compromised is liable for huge penalties, both monetary in terms of legal costs, as well as brand damage and lost business.
All right, let's look back at some of the biggest security threats facing small and medium businesses. Online malicious activities threaten your data, your processes, and even your employees. The blended threat landscape is constantly changing as hackers find new ways to gain unauthorized access and companies increasingly lose data through the activities of legitimate insiders. It's not just about losing data or money. Don't forget, your brand is at stake. I think a lot of people have a very narrow idea of what computer security is. You know, they might think that it's nothing more than a laptop lock or antivirus software. In fact, it can be a much broader range of things. In fact, here's a list of some of the top security solutions that are being used by companies today. Now, I want to ask you guys, what do you think is total business security?
Well, you need to provide an end-to-end solution that has many layers so that everything is protected. There's a principle called defense in depth, and that requires building layered security measures. So you can protect the network perimeter. That's usually done with a firewall or some kind of other content inspection device, and then protect each individual network segment and protect each workstation as well as servers, laptops, smartphones, things like that.
Gautam, what do you think?
That's right. Total business security in my mind is architecting a comprehensive solution that protects every element of your enterprise that contains precious data that you don't want to be lost, damaged, exposed, or stolen. So to take an example, you could have structured content in a database, stuff like credit card numbers, social security numbers, or patient's information. If you're a retail customer and you do a lot of credit card transactions on the web, you have to protect all the solution, the entire supply chain end to end. You have to look at the customer entering the information, credit card information on the web, the information flowing through the internet, through your firewall, to your network, to your business applications like a credit card processing system or a CRM solution, to your backend. So really, if you look at it, what you need to do is protect data while it's being in use, so data in use, protect data while it's in motion, while it's flowing through the network, and data while it's at rest. Customers in retail might also have to comply with things like the payment card industry, the PCI regulatory mandate, compliance mandate, and that involves ensuring you have the right security solutions and policies in place. Same way, if you are a financial customer, you might have to comply with other mandates, the GLBA, or if you're a healthcare provider, you might have to comply with HIPAA. There is no silver bullet to help solve a solution like this. So the second step is really to consult an expert, a security expert, to help you define and design a solution for your enterprise.
All right, let's look back at what we've learned about total small and medium business security. Think in layers. Security is a top-to-bottom effort. Start by protecting your perimeter with a strong, unified threat management solution. Your business processes need protection. Data must be safe at rest, in use, and in motion. Individual network components, from servers to smartphones, need protection too. It seems like we're really talking about a complicated threat here. Let's talk about strategy. Where can we start?
The first thing to do is to inventory all of your assets so that you know which to protect. I'm talking about hardware, software, and data. Then you can assign resources based on the order of prioritization.
You have to be realistic about your security priorities.
Yes. You have a limited amount of money, you have a limited amount of resources that you can devote to security. You have to know what you're protecting is the right thing to protect.
What do you think, Gotham? Do you think that it's a question of prioritizing your assets?
Areas where your data could be compromised more than other places, you have to pay attention to that. To give an example, if your enterprise uses virtualization as a technology, then you have to understand the emerging threats in virtualization space, and you have to protect your virtual environment. You have to look for what could possibly go wrong, and to reach to that precious information, how could somebody get in, and then make sure you have adequate level of security at that point. And obviously, like we discussed before, you have different levels in your enterprise. At the perimeter, you would have a firewall typically. At the network, you would have encryption solutions or network throttling or access control. You would have different. So basically, depending on where the information is and what kind of system you have to deploy a solution that protects it adequately. So it's important to again consult a security expert who understands what that information is and how it can be protected, so you have the right level of security and you're protected thoroughly.
Here are some of the things we've learned regarding the right small and medium business strategy. Inventory your assets, hardware, software, and data. Assign your security resources based on prioritization of risk. Seek expert help in understanding unique threats to your unique business processes. Look for a turnkey, total comprehensive security solution. A vendor like Dell can be a great resource. Okay, so we're talking about layers of security. Before you undertake any particular security step, you have to step back and look at the big picture first. What are the layers?
The outermost layer is the perimeter. That's usually where an organization's internal network is connected to the internet. That perimeter can be secured in a number of ways. There are either point solutions, or all of those point solutions can be combined into one solution, which is called a unified threat management device. Then you would move in and you would look at the network and you would protect the network itself. So that might take the form of getting intelligent switches and running VLANs to separate all the traffic. We're starting to see more and more organizations deploy internal firewalls to protect between departments. Then you also have the protections for specific devices. You would have an endpoint protection suite that would run on a client like a laptop or a desktop. One of the things that is becoming more and more important is encryption of data while it's at rest and while it's in motion. So hard drive encryption, full drive encryption is becoming more and more prevalent, especially on laptops.
Gotham, what are some of the key security solutions that every small to medium business should consider implementing?
Obviously, as you heard from Matt, there are a lot of different elements of security. It is a broad topic. What I would say is the best way to go about looking at a comprehensive solution is either a unified threat management solution that covers a lot of these technologies at the gateway itself, so it blocks those threats before they actually enter your enterprise. A unified threat management or multifunctional firewall would typically contain an antivirus, anti-spam. So if there is any spam coming into an enterprise, it would clean that spam and only send in clean traffic. It also includes web filtering or content filtering. So if your employees are going out to websites that they should not have access to, or if somebody's sending in phishing websites, then it blocks those kind of attempts itself. A VPN, a virtual private network, would help your remote employees as well as partners logging in from the outside, protecting them as well as your enterprise. And then you have other solutions as well, including email security that actually protects all the email content, the attachments in the email with deep level inspection. So there are many other solutions as well, including identity management, network access control. But I think, again, it is important to either refer an expert who understands security and help the person design the right solution for you, or to look for turnkey solutions from vendors like Dell that provide the right solution for customers just like yourself. So it's important to buy the solution on one hand, but it's equally important to buy a subscription that protects and actually feeds new content into those products. So you are up to date, you're secure all the time, and you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, let's review what we've been talking about in terms of best smart security products for small and medium businesses. On the desktop, install security suites for every endpoint device. On the network, consider safeguards such as internal firewalls, intrusion prevention, network access control, smart switches, and web content filtering. At the perimeter, install a strong unified threat management system to integrate anti-spam, antivirus, firewall, intrusion prevention, VPN, and web filtering solutions. Subscribe to service updates to keep all of your security solutions up to date. Well, that's been a lot of great advice and a lot of great insight. I'd like to thank Gautam Vij and Matt Sorrell for their expertise. To learn more about the kind of security solutions we've been talking about here today, be sure to visit Dell's Security Solutions Center. I'm Jeff Wise. Thanks for joining us.